I mean, dude, I don't know how many people you know that are fighting the battle with drugs right now, but I am running into surprisingly people that surprise me that are using now. Have you found that in your life?
I know quite a few, but here's something that I struggle with. She got on, and I didn't want to give my opinion sometimes when
yeah.
I don't want
Sure, it's her event. Yeah,
I think what they're doing is really great, and
I do too.
Encourage everybody to go down and support this cause because I think
of course
it's cool. Now here's where I struggle with stuff.
Okay.
I've done stuff in my life, and I'm not afraid to admit what I've done, whether it was drinking, smoking, or drugs at times when I was a lot younger. Right? And you know what I did?
I stopped.
And I didn't need to go. I didn't need to call it a disease. I didn't need to go get a support group, and I needed to sit there and go, all right, you fucking dumbass, what are you doing with your life that you keep doing the same old stupid shit? It's not getting you anywhere. You're wasting your money. You're wasting your life. Stop doing this, you dumbass. And you know what I did? I stopped doing it.
But and again, I'm sure Carol would have told you this. It's the layers of addiction. When I explained it to her, or in that conversation right there about people making excuses to keep using, you didn't do that. You didn't exercise one of the core reasons that addictive people, dude. We're addictive in our own way. Neither one of us has said no to a cookie.
Well, that's I think that the problem is bigger sometimes than just drugs. I think it's just
I agree with that.
Addiction trait that people have. I mean, I know people that are addicted to their fucking phones.
Oh yeah,
you can't put the damn things down to save their lives. I know people that are addicted to food. God knows that I've been one of them throughout my entire life.
Tony Musachio.
Yeah. People are addicted to smoking cigarettes. Can't stop smoking cigarettes. I mean, I had that. I was a 2-pack a day smoker.
Sure.
And you know what? I got sick. This happened to me. I guess it gave me a good reason to say, you know what? I am done. And I just stopped doing it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, everybody is somewhat different, and that's the one thing that I think gets lost in the discussion of addiction. That's funny. But I do think that gets lost in the discussion of addiction, is that everybody is different. Look, I'll tell a story I've never even told on CMS or anywhere. I went to rehab for booze when I was in the military. I was in Arizona. We had a party. I got extremely fucked up. Well, let me backtrack before that. I got a DWI. I got a call from a friend, asked me to come and get him. I go get him. I'd had a couple of beers. I get popped. I blew a .082 in a .08 state. Got DWI. They found fake IDs and shit in my pocket because I was under 21. Military gave me a choice. Go to rehab or get kicked out of the Army. That was my choice. I said, I'll go to rehab. Next day, we had a party to celebrate the fact that I didn't get kicked out of the Army. And all I had to do was stay sober. And what did we do? We drank our faces off. Yeah. So much that the next day we showed up. I was hammered. They pulled me out of formation because I smelled like booze and busted me out and were ready to kick me out of the military. This all happened. I knew I was in trouble, and I did it anyway. At that point in my life, I was addicted. I couldn't stop. Later in life, I developed it in a different way, and maybe for me, a lot of it was getting blown up. And once that happened, I kind of reprioritized things. Maybe for you, quitting smoking and everything was reprioritizing things.
I mean, it could be.
It could be as much as just reprioritizing what am I spending $200 a week on?
Right.
For smokes.
I mean, again, when I was in the hospital and I got out of the coma and all that kind of stuff, I was shaking like a leaf, man. I mean, I couldn't hold a spoon without flying across the room because, I hadn't had a cigarette in weeks, and I was obviously coming off of something.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not a hard drug user. I used a lot of stuff when I was a dumb 20-year-old.
What's the hardest thing you use? Coke?
Yeah, I would say that. And then, I did a lot of different things.
Because I shot heroin twice.
I didn't try that.
And thank God, thank Christ, both times it made me so sick that I was like throwing up sick. Because if I would have enjoyed it, I would have kept using it. I'd be dead now. There's no doubt in my mind. I'd be dead now.
I just, again, for me, I sit back sometimes. I know maybe there are people out there that it is a disease for them, and it's very difficult to. I don't mean to diminish anybody's experience with their
of course not.
or anything like that. But I know people that drink and drink and drink and drink.
Of course.
And then I sit there, they say, I struggle with it every day. Day number 33, day number 6 months sober, and all this kind of. And I don't even think about it. I don't drink, or I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. I don't do the stuff but I don't even think about it. I'm not counting the days. I just say, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm done. And
dude, it's this. I'll give you an exact scenario, and then and maybe it'll make you see it.
I drink a lot.
Sure.
But now I don't even think about having a beer.
Because you don't do it anymore. So now you're past it.
I know now that I could go into a bar and drink some beers.
Yeah.
And I'll think about it the next morning too.
Sure.
I don't feel like that anymore. I don't want that stuff in my life. I don't want cigarettes in my life. I don't want anything I've done in my life. Sorry.
And I agree with you. The more you think about it, the harder it becomes. That is a truism. Think about this. Is 10 minutes a long period of time?
No.
Could me and you do 10 minutes without even blinking, talking?
Yes, of course.
If I told you to go stand somewhere for 10 minutes,
it would feel like
it would feel like 7 years.
Yeah.
Same 10 minutes, same exact 10 minutes would seem like an endless amount of time. That is what goes on with the alcoholic mindset. You put it down. You know that if you drink again, you're going to be a disaster. And what do? You sit there and think about it. I just got to get through another hour. I got to get, and the heart. I'm look, probably not the best thing to say on this show today, but I'm not a firm believer in the whole Alcoholics Anonymous thing, because I think it puts too much pressure on people to think minute to minute.
Yes.
And I think that's a big problem, because now all of a sudden you're putting the thought of a drink in people's heads every minute. Dude, I haven't had a drink. Last time I had more than 2 beers was January. And I mean, that's or other than at Pinball PA this last weekend when I was at Pinball PA, I had 6, which was an ungodly amount for me these days. But before that, it had been January. So that's like 5 months, and I'm by no means am I saying I'm not going to drink anymore, or I'm not going to throw down or any of that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that. But I don't think like you. I don't think about it day to day. I'm not sitting there going, man, my fridge doesn't have any beer in it. I got to go get some. I got to get some now.
No, I mean, not at all. Again, it's just something that it's not even on the tip of my mind. But I know people that that have been to AA, and I know that they are still. I mean, some people I know are 20 years, 30 years sober.
Sure,
and they're still counting the day like it's like it was yesterday. And I sit there and I say, okay. Well, why? It's been 30 years, dude. You haven't had a drink.
No, because some of them know that
think about it anymore.
Well, and I agree. They put too much pressure on themselves. They're just waiting for the fuck up.
Well, that's my problem. What are you waiting for? Why are you even thinking about this? Move on from your past. People make mistakes in life. Dude.
Sure.
I've made tons of mistakes.
Sure.
But I can't. If I relive them and think about them every day, I'm going to go crazy.
No,
so
I don't. Yeah, I'm with you.
I moved on from the stupid shit that I've done when I was younger. Now I have a family, I have a wife, I have a great kid, and I'm moving on with my life. And I'm putting the bad stuff that I did behind me. And I still hear these people every day. Oh, it's a struggle every day. 30 years sober. 30 years and 3 days.
But you can't poo-poo them for their struggles, their own business. Just like there's things you struggle with every day.
Of course. Look,
and
I'm not poo-pooing their thing. I guess. But I try not to do that. I try not to dwell on my struggles every single day. My stupid leg. I mean, look, I don't have a leg. Neither does this guy. You know, and so what? So I'm not the only one out there without a leg.
Yeah, dude.
So sit here and bitch and moan about it all the time. What is that going to do me? So quit bitching that you drank 30 years ago.
That's
my problem. I'm sick and tired of calling it a disease. It's a choice you made to start drinking. It's a choice you made to stop drinking. It's your choice.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with all that.
Fucking picked up a bottle and said, "Drink it, or I'm going to fucking shoot you."
No, but
it's a choice to pick it up.
Once you've done it, you condition your brain to where your brain works that way.
I don't know that that's true or not.
Well, it's true with some people. It's not true with all people. The thing, and this is where with chemical dependence is individual, because dude, you got to look at all the factors. You can't just say, well, it's just booze. You can't just say it's just booze, because you got to look at the other pieces of the puzzle too. You got to look at. I would imagine that today's youth that were not raised with as hardcore right and wrong as we were have a harder time struggling with chemical dependency. You know, they've been brought up to think that it's no big deal. And they haven't been raised. Dude, what would your dad have done if he found a joint in your bedroom? He'd have knocked your shit out of you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, today's parent will say, well, let's smoke it together.
Okay.
You know, I mean, there's a big difference.
But, Chris, I know that you and I are both bigger guys.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is telling me that I have to pick up that extra piece of pizza and eat it.
No, not at all.
You can have the ability to say, no, I'm going to put the fuck down.
But do you?
Okay, so what? That's my fucking choice. I know that I'm fat. I know that I need to lose weight. It's my choice when I pick up an extra chicken tender instead of putting it back in.
Okay, but
box.
Well, hold on. Stop right there.
I have that choice.
Stop right there, though. But the fact that me and you both continually make the wrong choice, knowing the right choice, is that not the addiction?
I don't consider...
You think it's just saying fuck you to yourself?
Absolutely, I think it is. I don't see any... I don't sit there and go, you know what? I have a disease that is making me pick up the chicken tender.
I'm not saying to take it that far.
Because it's a disease. I should probably go see a doctor because of my eating disorder of picking up this fucking chicken tender. No, it's a choice that I make, and I know that it's probably not the best choice for me. So fucking stop doing it.
Okay.
The consequences of stopping
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to tell you why. Let's use the same exact example, but that chicken finger is now laced with arsenic that will kill you. Will you eat it?
No.
Why?
Okay, but it goes the same way. I know that it takes longer for me to die from doing it this way.
Yeah, which means that your brain isn't processing it as wrong.
Okay, we're not stupid, Chris.
I understand that.
You own 4 businesses. You know a lot of shit about shit that I couldn't even spell. You know, shit. It's crazy when it comes to computers and all that kind of stuff. I mean, your son, I watched him fix a fucking pinball machine the other day. I couldn't do that shit. But I'm smart in other ways. I know how to fucking adjust a satellite and from a fucking radio station.
Right.
But I know consequences of my actions. The fact that I continue to do it is not a disease. It's me being a dumbass. Well, it is, in my opinion. And
that's fine.
Bottle, it's your fucking choice to pick up the bottle. Put it down. Otherwise, you know what's going to happen. You know what? I know what's going to happen. I lost a leg, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Knew that. I would think I didn't know that eventually I was going to lose a leg by doing the things that I was doing. It happens. Unfortunately, it's sped up by the fact that I stepped on a rusty hell. But these things are going to happen to you if you continue doing the things you do. And if you don't know that, I don't know what planet you're on. It's not a disease.
Well, you do know that. But
to make you stop eating. There's no magic pill to make you stop drinking.
Dude, it's the exact point that I made to her about, like with the fentanyl. There's no shortage of information that if you're doing crystal meth or whatever, you're going to die. You're absolutely going to die. You're absolutely going to rot away. Your teeth are going to rot out. You're going to die. And yet we got more people doing meth and fentanyl than anything right now. Why? They know the consequence. They do it anyway. And the consequence is dire. You have to at least acknowledge that that's a little more than decision. That there's a mental illness being willing to do something that will kill you and has proven to kill everybody else in its history.
I'm not sure that it's a mental illness.
You don't think that's a mental deficiency, we'll say. Maybe not an illness, but a deficiency.
Deficiency, if that's what you want to call it. But I think people are just addicted to things naturally. I think that's part of being a human being, is that we get addicted to things that we like. And so you have the ability to stop doing that if that's what you want to stop doing. In my opinion, again, I mean, like we talked about, people are addicted to phones. Put the fucking phone down.
Yeah.
That's tough. I mean, but I think people are naturally addicted to things that they enjoy, the things that make them feel good. People are addicted to sex. People are addicted to all kinds of different things. Mm-hmm. So if you know the consequences of it, then it's on you to make that decision. I don't think... What do you need a support group? You need to figure out within your own head, all right, enough.
Well, the support group might help you figure it out.
And when you hit that point in your life where you're saying, all right, why am I being so stupid? Then that's when you got to make a decision for yourself. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. What do you think out there? Somebody give me a fucking in the show or something.
Yeah, I'm game to take on any points. Oop, I pushed it. You pushed it. There we go. Bob's hitting that one kind of what I was saying is, there's so much information about meth out there, but people aren't using the info. But the question is why? There's no shortage of information that cookies are bad for you. There's no shortage of information that eating fucking Mars bars is going to make you have diabetes. And yet we're happily running through Sheets, grabbing 3 of them on the way out.
Look, I've cut back a lot on what I used to do.
Sure.
It's tough to stop. It's very tough to stop. I'm not diminishing that either. I know it's tough to stop drinking, smoking.
Yeah.
Look, smoking was one of the toughest things I ever had to quit doing. I still there are days where I see other people smoke and I want to light one up. But I know in my head that it's not the right thing for me, and I need to stop doing it. I used to be the guy that every single day after dinner I would have to have like a king-size candy bar or something. Mm-hmm. Because it was my routine to have my dessert after I have my meal and all that kind of stuff. And I've stopped doing that. Instead, I've replaced it with sugar-free popsicles.
Sure. And so, but you're still thinking about it.
But no, it came to the point where I know that I had to make that decision of what's more important to me. And so I'm the one that picked up those candy bars to begin with. Nobody forced them on me.
Right.
And now it was my decision now to stop doing that. I could have gotten out of the hospital and gone back to everything I was doing before.
Sure.
Easily. What do you think, that a month in the hospital all of a sudden made me go, I'm not addicted to anything anymore. I'm good. No, I still wanted the stuff, but I made the choice not to do it. Mm-hmm. I had a nurse when I was in the hospital getting my leg chopped off who said, hey, if you want to wheel yourself out to have a cigarette, that's fine. Just don't let me see you do it. And I was like, all right, that's permission for me to go outside and smoke.
Sure.
I'll call one of my friends. I'm going to have him bring me a pack of cigarettes. And I was like, look, you dumbass. You know smoking is bad for you. You know it's going to raise this. Or do this to you. Fucking stop doing it.
Sure. I just don't know that everybody. I just don't know that everybody has the strength or the training or the brain power. Like, do you have? Well, hold on.
I'm not somebody special. I'm not like a.
Hold on. Well, but you were raised in a way, and I know this just from talking to your dad. You were raised in a way that if you were doing something wrong and they found out, you were going to hear about it. There was no pacifying you when you were blatantly doing shit wrong. True or not true?
I would say fairly true.
Okay. Now, do you have any friends, or does Molly have any friends whose parents are their friend more than raising them?
Of course.
Like where you look at how they parent their kid versus how you raise your kid, you're like, that kid's going to be fucked up in life.
Yes.
You have those people. Okay, fair enough. If Molly was put this situation in front of her, here's some crystal meth. Just do a little. Just do a little. You'll love it. It feels good. Will she do it in your estimation?
I hope not, but I would say probably not.
Okay.
We raised her. So.
There's your answer. Because you built that in for the last 17 years. The parent that doesn't build that in for 17 years, that kid doesn't have that strength. Do you think that same kid that's buddies with their parent and never gets told no and has a new iPhone every 6 months because they're coddled, do you think that kid has the strength to make a personal decision based on what's best for them? They're not taught the way we were. And I'm not trying to say you're wrong on you toughed through it. I'm not saying that. Because Lord knows I've toughed through a lot of shit too. And Lord knows we were both raised the same way. As far as we were both taught, if you fuck up, wake up. You know? There was no, well, you know, it's okay because everybody's doing it and, you know, you want to fit in. And we weren't raised that way. This new generation has been raised that way. They're raised that they can do whatever they want. They're raised that they should be out swinging their dicks in town square with pride flags. They're not taught how to be tough.
But I'm not just talking about the new generation. I'm talking about, I know people that are in their 50s and close to 60 that still are counting the days since the last time they drank 30 years ago. And I know people that I see people that are in the public eye on Facebook and other things that have the same kind of issues, that are still counting down days and they want to make it public about, you know, I haven't had a drink in 6 months or whatever it is. And I don't understand the need to do that. I don't understand the need to express it. I don't understand the need to constantly harp on it on a day-to-day basis. It's a personal thing. And just move past your problems.
Dude, of course. I agree with you. Unfortunately, social media, for a lot of people, is the only place where they get the attaboy pat on the back, which they desperately, desperately need. Social media is, I would bet you, and we should have asked Carol this, I would bet you 95% of the people that check into Stella Maris have at least 2 social media accounts.
Probably.
Social media is cancer.
Social media is also an addiction.
And it's the ultimate addiction, and it's the ultimate cause of every problem. Because people, what do people do on social media? And this drives you the most nuts. How many times you see a friend of yours that you know is fighting with their wife and ready to get divorced, and they put on social media, my wife is the most special person ever. She is flowers and candy.
Yes.
And you just want to say, what the fuck are you doing?
Dude,
Be honest.
I got a couple of friends that, man, holy shit. You know something's wrong in a marriage because every other day it's, oh, honey, I love you so much. I love you. The greatest thing ever. Oh, God, can't wait to see you.
Yeah.
I just know there's something so wrong going on.
Of course, there's always something. Dude, I call it Facebook living because it's never real. Anybody that posts about their personal life more than once a week on Facebook is desperate for attention.
Well, look, I'm desperate for attention. I posted a picture of me in a fucking hospital yesterday.
But you have a show. There's a difference.
It wasn't even a cry for like likes or anything like that. I was just saying at the hospital and only being there. But and I post pictures of me and my daughter all the time when we go out, stuff like that. But
about once a week.
Social media is about once a week. But social
that's what I'm saying.
Attention. But yeah, some people use it too much.
Oh, they use it way too much, and they only post. They're trying to present an image that is not real.
Oh yeah, well,
which is.
I have a couple of friends who definitely post the real stuff. They fight every fucking day on Facebook and are hating each other. And then the next post is, "Oh, everything's fine. I love you."
Yeah. Now that we're past that bump in the road, ugh, stop it. But yeah, dude, I honestly think social media, that cry for attention, it does lead to addiction, because when they're not getting that attention, they go somewhere else to feel good.
The worst Facebook people, the people that I hate the most on Facebook, if you're one of them, I apologize listening. Prayers, please.
Oh, yeah, enough.
And that's all they say. What the fuck am I praying for? Like, tell me what's going on. Don't be like this Facebook vaguer, dude. Yeah. I don't want to hear, like, prayers, please.
That's second worst. I'll tell you worst.
Who want me to pray for you? You're going to goddamn tell me why I'm praying for you.
Right. I'll tell you what's worse than that.
Otherwise, you ain't getting shit from me.
What's worse than that is when they post out there, I know I've got 6 friends that feel the way I do and aren't afraid to repost this.
Yeah.
Fuck yourself. So now you're controlling my Facebook page? Go fuck yourself.
I'm certainly not copying and pasting anything.
I'll never do that, ever.
I mean, the other one that bothers me, but I still do it, but I do it in my head. I don't actually repost it. They have like 30 fucking questions to see what you've done in life, what you haven't done in life.
Yeah,
ever ridden a bike? Ever ridden a motorcycle? Ever been in a hospital? I'm not reposting 30 fucking questions that you put up there to look like a jackass.
Yeah, well, not only that, and then you're also giving away half of your fucking answers for password resets and shit. So don't, what, you think those questions are at random?
Of course.
What's the name of your pet? What's the name of what's your house address? What's the name of the first street you lived on? Those are all things that people use.
But back to the addiction,
Yes.
It's just my personal opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I think that people are so reliant on excuses.
Well, I agree. I don't think you're wrong.
Your life, dude.
I want to be clear here. I don't think you're wrong, but I think you're boxed in a little bit. I think there's more scenarios than yours to look at. Like I fall closer to yours. When I want to do something, I look at all the fucking businesses and shit that I've done.
Right.
Dude, everybody and their brother told me I couldn't do all that shit. And I just and did it anyway. Do it anyway. Do it constantly anyway. I don't listen to anybody. But that's because I've got a toughness, same as you do. We got a toughness to do things a certain way. But I know enough people that don't have that toughness, where their situation is different and their reactions to things are different. I just don't think we could put everybody in the same box and say, knock it off, put down the crack pipe. I don't think it's quite that easy. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not saying I disagree with that. I think I do, agree to an extent, but I get tired of just the excuses I shouldn't even say excuses. I get tired of the, oh my God, I have this disease that's keeping me from being sober. I have this disease that's keeping me from doing this. No, you have a problem with your brain that you need to just work out in your head and stop doing it.
Yeah. Dude, there's a famous quote from Steven Tyler, the famous philosopher, also the singer of Aerosmith, and somebody asked him in an interview, they had pictures of him at a party, and he was at this big party. It was like a wedding or something. And everybody was eating cake except Steven Tyler. And they asked him, they said, how come you didn't eat any of the cake at this party? And Steven Tyler said, if I eat one, I'm never going to stop eating this cake. And I like what I am without the cake. Now that's toughness. That's toughness. To be at a wedding and not eat a piece of cake. That's a mental toughness to say, what? And what is Steven Tyler weighed at his heaviest? 150?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a little skinny man. And he's still, at 79 years old or whatever he is, will not eat a piece of cake. That is mental toughness. That is a mental toughness I do not have. I'm pretty sure you don't have that mental toughness either. Everybody has a different level. And yet, at the same time, who was a bigger stoner and drug addict than Steven Tyler? No one.
Yeah, well, I agree.
You know, he can avoid cake for 75 years, but man, you put a line of blow in front of him, and he's on it.
Victimization.
Yeah, that's true.
And look, I'm trying at least to stop doing some of the things that I was doing.
Sure.
I'm always honest about stuff. I have Oreo Thins downstairs. Thins. Now, you're talking to the same guy, though, that would have sat there and would have eaten a bag on his own of double stuffed Oreos.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd pull the tops off to make them quadruple stuffed Oreos. I mean, if I could make a stack of 9 of them,
Right. If you could fit it in your mouth, you would.
make that cream and. But anyways, so I've stopped with that though, and then I give myself a snack of a couple of those Oreo Thins.
Sure.
Not as much in it, but it makes me at least, I guess, get rid of some of that craving of whatever that it is.
Pacifies you.
It does. And again, I don't eat those candy bars anymore like I used to. I have a popsicle. When we go to get ice cream on the weekends, because I love ice cream, dude. Look, I can't give up everything I fucking love in life.
You can't.
But I'm trying to curb those things.
Sure.
So when we go get ice cream, we go somewhere that has frozen yogurt, and a lot of they have like a sugar-free option, and so I'll get that, and I don't put shit all over it like I used to. I mean, I'm doing different things to try to. Am I perfect? Of course not.
No, of course not.
But am I doing things to attempt to stop that insanity in my head of saying, you know that this stuff is going to kill you, so stop doing it?
Yeah, but you know what the other word for that insanity in your head is? Addiction.
Right. Well,
That's what we're talking about.
Well, my point is that I gave up the cigarettes. I stopped drinking. I stopped doing drugs when I was younger. I've stopped doing all these other things that were addictive and things that I knew that I needed to stop because it's going to hurt me. So I stopped doing all that. Now I'm working on another one.
No, I get it.
More people need to do that.
I agree.
Moderation is key. There you go.
See, and I couldn't disagree more with that.
Why?
I can't moderate. I can't do it. Dude, yesterday, I have been kicking ass, and you said it to me, and a bunch of other people have said it to me in the last couple of weeks, that I look like I've lost a good amount of weight, which I have.
Yeah.
You know, I've lost roughly 30 pounds, roughly.
Heather and I talked about it on the way home from Pinball, PA.
Yeah. I got a way more to go. I'm by no means almost there. But it's a good first step on this marathon, right? And I've really been working hard. I do yoga every morning. Every other day I'm doing weights. I'm trying to integrate, as dumb as this sounds, the most muscle fitness you can do is squats. I don't know if you're aware, and I'm sure for you that's like an impossibility, but
well, I can still do that kind of
can
stuff.
You do squats?
Yeah.
I guess you could, sitting up and down on a chair and stuff. They say if you do that every day, that works every muscle in your body more than like an hour's worth of a workout would do. So I've been working that I've really been working at it.
Yeah.
So what happened yesterday? Me and my son order pizza and I eat 4 fucking slices of it. And could I have tried to moderate the 2? Sure. But my brain wasn't letting me. My brain was like, fuck yeah, pizza. And I went wild.
I don't know, 4 pieces of pizza. How big was the piece?
It was a big pizza. It was like half a pizza. Half of a medium pizza.
Well, no. I mean,
it's a medium pizza. It was half of it.
I understand what you're saying.
I mean, my friends that are not fatsos would not eat those 4 pieces of pizza. They would eat 1, maybe 2.
Is that normal for you to eat 4 pieces of pizza, or could you eat the entire thing before?
I could eat them, dude. I could eat. They could have brought me 3 more full ones. I could have eaten them.
So 4 pieces of pizza is actually a step in the right direction for you.
No, dude, I get that, but at the same time, there was no doubt in my mind when I was eating piece number 3. I was like, "What are you fucking doing, fatty? You're working so hard, and this is what you're doing." And I stuffed it in my face anyway.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, I'm not saying that addiction isn't tough. What I'm saying is that you have to work on it. And I don't think that it's necessary to sit there and call it a disease.
Well, I didn't take it to Facebook either and go, you know what, everybody? I only ate 2 pieces of pizza today. I'm not doing that either to get some cheap pop. Way to go, man. That's lame.
Man. Well, hell of a topic that we got on after.
Yeah, we did. That's good.
Carol. But go to that event. People should go check that out.
They should definitely. One more time. It's Rock of Faith, Sunday, June 9th, over at the Supper Club, Music Box Supper Club. Go over there. The music's pretty good, too. Do you want to hear some of the music?
Yeah.
Let me pull it up here real quick. Because the music sounds pretty good. I mean, they don't stink. Let's... All right, I'm not going to lie. I find it a little weird that a place for addiction would cover an Alice in Chains song, but
the exact same thing.
That's a little weird. But whatever, sounded good.
It did sound good. I was like, wait a second.
I'm pretty sure that this, even the song probably has to do with
Yeah, well, that's what maybe that's why they're doing it. Maybe that's part of the story that she tells. Is about somebody that got down in the emotional hole or something. And then they sing that song.
No, well, I mean, that sounded good. Yeah, I think it'll be fun on Sunday.
Yeah, I think it's a good event. Everybody should go down there on Sunday, 6:30.
Had a good time.
Yeah, see? Yeah, interesting choice, I guess.
Well, yeah, it could be part of the story.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know. All I know is I
one time you had pizza one time, you didn't do it all week. So
Yeah, well, and again, I'm not trying to say, oh my God, my life is. I'm not an alcoholic that's gonna say, oh my God, I ate too much pizza. I got to start all over. I got to go to Pizza Anonymous and get a new chip. I'm not that guy either. That's ridiculous. But
look, and the sad part is that people that you probably know that you don't know have like a serious addiction problem of some sort. I mean,
oh yeah,
people are really good at hiding stuff.
Of course, and even some aren't. Dude, some are not. Some don't hide it, but you just don't see it that often. When they do pop out with it, you're like, holy shit. How does this guy that I think I know, this guy, when the circumstances changed?
I always tell my wife, you never know what goes on behind closed doors, man.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the happiest marriages, some of the happiest looking people are some of the most miserable fucks of all time.
Most of them. Dude, I say that all the time to people. People all the time ask me about getting married again. And Landau asked me about it last week. And I'm just like, hell no, there's no chance of that. And it's because, and I say this to people all the time, the happiest marriage I ever see, puts up with more bullshit in a week than I do in a year. And that's truth. Yeah, that's your marriage, that's Wardlaw, that's anybody I think that has a great marriage. You guys still put up with way more shit than I would put up with in a year.
Come on, Wardlaw's got to be the happiest guy on the face of the planet, man.
Yeah,
just like me. And we married way outside of our league, so that's.
I've heard stories from him too, which I will not share on the air. Other than I've definitely heard some. Hey, don't you might not want to mention that on your show or on Facebook or what. I've definitely gotten that email from Matt. Hey, don't tag me in this post or that post.
I seriously want to get that guy on the show.
We got to get him on.
I haven't talked to him in a long time, and he's like successful as hell. And
Yeah, he's doing great. His wife's doing great too. We ought to have her on. His wife is like a famous author. And your daughter would be thrilled if we had her on about her latest book. She wrote a Taylor Swift book.
yeah, I know.
And we got to get Billy on soon too when this thing opens up.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's another guy that lives a different life on Facebook than real.
Yeah, I'd rather have his wife on air too.
Oh, we could, dude. I could reach out to Leah and have. She'd probably love to come on and talk about her new pool.
She does more work than that guy's done in 30 years.
He's a rock star.
Yeah.
You want to have Leah on? I would love to have Leah on to talk about her. We'll give her a free plug. Liquid Lifestyles. I love it.
Driven up and down Route 82 where it's supposed to be, and I have yet to see where it's at. So I got to talk to her, have her on the air, and find out where that place is.
Yeah, we could do
If you
that.
have kids that are going into swimming or whatever, this place is like freaking amazing.
Yeah, well, she just opened a second location.
Yeah.
Like she's like self-made zillionaire, or becoming one quickly. She rocks too. She's awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to text Tony to find out like when he's coming on because he's supposed to.
Leah's way more awesome than Billy. I'll say that.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, you want me to play a commercial and we'll figure
well,
this
I
out?
want to play his commercial if he's coming on. Otherwise, I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah,
Where is he?
Let's sell some shit.
All right, let's do that. Let's sell some merch. Here we go.
Are you looking for a way to support the Seth Williams Show? Get your Seth Williams Show merchandise today. From coffee mugs to clothing and everything in between, our high-quality merch is the perfect way for you to not only support the show, but show everyone what is the greatest show going today. Just go to shop.thesethwilliamsshow.com now, shop around, and buy some great merchandise from the Seth Williams Show. Shop today.
There's plenty of places to experience the Seth Williams Show, but if you want all the content, you need to join us on Minds. Get all the live episodes of the show every Monday and Wednesday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. Get the special bonus footage every Wednesday from 5:30 to 6 p.m. Get bonus content from Seth and Chris as it's produced. It's only $4.99 per month, so don't wait. Sign up today. Visit us at www.minds.com/Seth Williams Show.
You see all the commercials for online gambling, but you're afraid to try them because you just don't want to lose, right? Well, play with the house's money. Right now, sign up with FanDuel at fanduel.cnspn.com and get $15 of free bets just for using our link. Sign up today at fanduel.cmspn.com and get $15 worth of bets on FanDuel. Be responsible and play today. FanDuel.